Recording.
Recording.
Yeah, all right.
Good job. Great job.
It really is always a relief. No joke.
I
Hello
get
there,
it.
Mrs. Ryan.
Hello, mister.
Good evening.
Hello.
What's happening?
Oh,
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans. This is It's Tonight's Show. I am excited. I'm a little bit out of sorts because we're not doing the show we had actually thought we were going to do today because we had a guest become available, somebody we'd been trying to get for a while. Actually had a relative in town and said, you know what, I'm off this week, and maybe if there's a time to do it, this is it. So we have Steve VARTANIan in studio today.
from Singer, yeah.
From Singer Vehicle.
Cool.
Absolutely. And he will be in just shortly. Until we get to that, Mrs. Ryan, what do we have? Hellos. How are you doing today? That's right. I asked it.
Just fine.
No, really. You seem very... I feel more confident asking you that question when you seem...
More put together?
When you seem like you're feeling well.
I'm actually not feeling well, but I'm
sorry.
I'm just powering through. 'Cause
Wow.
That's what I do. I'm
Well-
embracing that shit. Like, I just have to power through.
Is there anything you can tell us?
My legs just aren't working right. So I'm just like, I keep getting, what I was talking about with a dude yesterday, Dave, like when we were talking about panic attacks, it's like whenever I don't walk, I get very nervous with
Yeah.
myself, and I just have to
Self-conscious.
stop. I just have to power through and like not think about it.
What do you think is going on in your mind in those moments? Are you thinking like I'm worried what I look like? I'm worried what people think. I'm worried what my husband thinks. Like what locks you down at that moment?
It's on just fear of literally falling.
Oh, well, so it's much more simple. It's literally,
It's
I'm just not
really-
safe at the moment.
Not safe.
That's scary.
Which transfers out to whoever is around me or what is around me.
Sure.
Of course. But it's literally that feeling that you get like on a roller coaster of like, I don't know, maybe like
Yeah.
that weird
Except on a roller
rope.
coaster, you know you're probably going to be okay.
Yeah, I realized that halfway through. That weird rope thing that you walk on when you're a kid. Like just that, like, I don't know, your balance. Like it's very weird.
Yeah. Well, it's an awful lot you're going through, and I think it's a service that you tell people about it with a smile on your face, saying, "Hey, listen, this is what it's like to go through with this disease, and it sucks, but a
It
smile goes a
sucks.
long way."
It's all you can do, and it helps me keep my headspace of like, please don't send me wheelchair photos. Like I'm not interested.
Has that happened?
So many times.
Really?
People send me links all the time being
Like-
like I heard this wheelchair is great. Like I'm
and they're
not
trying to
thinking
help,
about
right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
I appreciate that, but like I'm not focusing my energy there. Like we have such a good news with the projects and my writing and whatever. Like I'm focusing on other shit.
Well, what do you do? How do you keep your smile on? Because you've got it on today, and that's a feat if you're feeling how you say you're feeling.
I have to really focus on being present and making that a happy moment. It's
That's
so
tough.
heady and it's so hard, but it literally comes down to like, okay, I keep telling people like I'm just dying really slowly, some parts of me. So like you have to face the mortality and be like, fine, how do you want to live your, if that's true, if that's what you're going to say, then like, how do you want to be those moments? Like, do you want to be a curmudgeon? No.
The weirdest thing for me is I find that if most people actually confronted their immortality, or their mortality rather, all of a sudden life unlocks. That's what happened for me. I thought I was going to die. I came to terms with it, and then all of a sudden, life got a lot easier. When you think you're leaving it
Yeah.
or you're prepared to, and you I don't know what it is, but just coming to terms with it. Reconciliation, probably.
Reconciliate, just making it like, is it in your head? Like,
Most people, and I don't want to stay on this, I'm sorry, but most people have a tremendous amount of unfinished business going on in their
Yeah.
head. Whether it's stuff with other people from their past, or whether it's, oh man, I wish I didn't do that, or I can't believe so-and-so did that to me, or wish I didn't say that, whatever the fuck, all the stuff. We all do it. We all replay that stuff in our head. I like what you're doing of you reconcile it, you put the smile on, and then you just go back out there. It's the equivalent of one day at a time. Put your fucking pants on and just get out there.
fake it till you make it. Do all those adages of like, just
Force yourself.
go above the pain and the drama. Just like live in the happy place.
Nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
All right.
But that's that.
Well, I love you, and I say it all the time, but I want to give you what I feel is very due credit for talking about something that's not easy to talk about, and you're doing it in public.
Hello. I do it in public. I'm really bad at it, but I'm trying to figure out how to talk about it.
I think you're learning how to be very good at it, actually, and I think that could be a service.
That is my goal.
I'm very proud of you.
Thanks.
All right, update. No, well, we don't really have an update. I thought we might have an update, but it's a little too soon for that.
It's a little
but we did
premature
reach
for
out
an
to
update.
David Letterman. This is the 25th anniversary of all of this stuff being new this month. August 30th is the 25th anniversary of The Late Show with David Letterman. So it's the show's anniversary, like in existence, because there wasn't one previous, and then just our set. It's 25 years old.
It's so neat. And it's, for everyone who's like, what's that? Like, not everyone knows who Letterman or whatever. Like, there's tons of books about it, and it's a fascinating time in history. So, like, that we get to be part of this is neat.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what's going to happen. I honestly, I have no idea if we're going to get David Letterman to sit here. I in a weird way, I've already seen it in my mind, so I know it's possible.
Yeah.
But it's weird to imagine a world where, an old bearded Letterman is sitting in this chair and I'm telling him about how when I was a kid I used to idolize him, and now I'm sitting at your old desk doing a talk show with my wife who has MS. I mean, really. Even just hearing that was ridiculous.
Even hearing it, but yeah, the momentum of our project really spurred me to like get into it too, and like I've been watching a ton of Bonnie Hunt movies and like all that stuff. So.
When I wrote the ask out to Letterman's representation, I was sort of, it is an impressive story when you hear now that there's a bookend on both sides. There used to be one cool bookend and then a great story, and then, what do we write it? And now like there's this awesome end. So It is an exciting time. I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm really proud of you.
Whoa. This is the Proud Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We're proud of each other.
I
It's
like
healthy.
to just tell you that.
I love you. Thanks. I think that is a wonderful time to ask the question that is on everyone's mind.
Good.
What's going on,
Dun,
Mrs.
dun,
Ryan?
dun, dun,
Dun.
Well, okay. So when we talked about that plane that like put like windows in every seat that was like not real windows?
We were talking a while ago. There was it's not actually done. It's more of a design, right? Yeah. For a plane that has no windows. It has virtual windows. So it's just a fuselage with nothing but little screens. And they're already doing versions of that on international first class trips for the inside cabins. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's close, but I think that this will actually happen. Now, go ahead.
Well, Ford is putting this in cars. And this is already like a prototype that Mercedes is involving in with like car windows. It freaked me out reading this article. I didn't even get that deep into it because I'm like, what is happening? None of this is real.
I think we're entering a very interesting time where we have a lot of domestic terrorism, and it's in the form of advertisements. I saw something this morning on social media, I think it was on Facebook, that somebody had posted, not dissimilar to that shower curtain with the iPad holder in it that I posted the other day, saying like, this is the end, folks. It's over. We've ruined it. This new device is a bed that is also like a safe room. It's a bed, but like in an earthquake or in a catastrophe, the whole bed just fucking locks up into a trunk, and then you're in this thing with like bottled water and Skittles or whatever. If you watch the whole, there's all of these animated, things of all the different types and the different sizes and the different shapes that are going to be available in this doomsday bed. And all I could say, I'm just watching it. I'm like, they're horrifying people. They're really just like, what? Do you want to survive that bad? And if all of that shit's going on, why on earth would you want to live here?
I think about that. Like, what are you saving yourself from?
It's a weird one. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So that's interesting. So Ford windowless cars at least being tested or theorized about.
Yeah. It just the idea freaked me out. Difference immune system. There was a study that doesn't seem to be totally done yet, but it showcased and highlighted the differences in immune systems between men and women.
Ooh, this is interesting.
Did you happen?
Okay.
No. Basically what it said this article is saying that like the differences in immune systems between men and women create a genetic conflict
Interesting.
in the organism that it makes.
Okay.
So then it's like, well, the humans,
I mean, what they're X's and X's and Y's, right? So I mean, they are different.
they're different, but we're finding how different an immune system is one layer of how different, because guys can tend to contract infections more frequently than women. So
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe certain types of infections.
In general, like women just tend to have stronger immune systems to be like, no thanks, I'm good. Whereas guys tend to just like suck all that shit up. But it's causing conflicts in.
I wonder if that's a childbearing thing. If you have a different set of equipment to deal with more stuff to protect two people.
I believe.
Or multiple people.
So, but they didn't go there in this article.
Nice.
So.
Fascinating. Thank you.
That's that one.
Very cool.
There is a new show on Hulu. It's one of our SNL people, Edie Bryant.
Okay. No, I don't know about it.
Okay. Here's why. Well, I love it for 1,000 reasons, but it's based on a blogger.
Edie's very funny.
And a memoir about this woman, Lindy, who I think Edie knows, but it's called Shrill.
Shrill?
Yeah.
Is that exciting?
I love
Well, I mean, you're excited by it. Tell me why it's exciting.
because it's not a nice word about women, and it's women embracing the not so nice qualities about themselves.
Okay, sure. It's just a word. You're associating it with it's not nice about women. It's
The
just a
full
word,
title
shrill.
is Shrill Notes from a Loud Woman.
Well, now you withheld information on that.
The series is called Shrill, but the thing it's based on has that longer.
Gotcha.
And I just really like Edie Bryant, and Lauren's producing it, and it's for Hulu, and it's a new series. So I just wanted to give my support for the humor.
Thank you. And when is it out? Is it out now? Can we see it?
No, it's not out currently. They're just announcing that they're going to make it. So
Okay.
I'll let everyone know.
So stay tuned. Yeah.
In that, well, not in that vein, but in the like things we know, like Brookstone's going away in malls.
Aren't malls going away?
Yeah, I think malls are going. They're keeping like airport stores.
Oh, that makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah, headphones and neck pillows. Sure.
Yeah.
Massage chairs so we can all sit at the airport.
It makes sense there. But Sharper Image was its predecessor and went away. But
they're long gone too, right?
Yes.
Now, are they gone completely? Do you know? Because I think they went straight from stores to. They were catalogs, then they went to stores, then they might have gone back to catalogs, and now, Steve, do you know? I think they might be. Oh, maybe just catalogs. I used to love the Sharper Image when that would come. I mean, the coolest stuff. I wasn't even into Star Wars, but you could get like Star Wars full-size people, like Star Wars
in the
Darth
Sharper
Vader
Image catalog.
You could go to the mall and get it. Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know that. Not at all. I believe it's just catalogs then.
Yeah, you need a robot to go. I mean, now everybody has a robot to vacuum their floor, but back in the day, it was a novelty. Nowadays, it's just a Roomba.
The article called them the home of techie gadgets.
Yeah.
Brookstone.
I remember any kind of massager or a vibrating pillow or a flashlight on a keychain, any of that shit. It was like a Father's Day delight.
Yes. I remember we used to go there for graduations a lot. They had the year picture frame.
Yeah, it got Dad a barbecue thing with a light on it or whatever the heck. It was always something.
So you can grill in the dark.
Creative new gadget. It was like the Sky Mall catalog. It's all the same stuff,
Yeah. The last thing I was reading up on is about dehydration, which stemmed off the article you sent me about Death Valley being so hot.
Hottest recorded on Earth history. Hottest in the history of recording temperature on Earth.
Yeah. Gross.
That's hot, folks.
Yeah. The article,
this time with our civilization and everything.
The article today was talking about how it might not be inhabitable much longer, that place. So
the Earth, if you want to zoom out, sure.
Yeah, so
Death Valley first, and other places first.
Yeah, so mild dehydration, like heads up, thanks for drinking water.
That's what it was. Absolutely, thank you for the reminder.
Sure thing. There's a skin test, and it affects your concentration and like your motor function and capabilities. So
I've heard this with brain function for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Heat and dehydration can directly and immediately affect the word I can't think of right now, cognitive ability.
Yeah. So apparently,
that's ironic.
Dehydration happens much faster than anyone thinks it will. So just heads up.
And I don't know if this is true or this is an old wives' tale, but they always say by the time you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. You
got to have another glass of water to accommodate.
Yeah, and then it's kind of, it's weird, but whatever. There's always something to pay attention to.
Always.
Do this, do that. That's it, right, Mrs.
That's
Ryan?
it.
All right, that's been What's Going
Dun,
On?
dun, 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 dun.
Dun. All right, Mrs. Ryan, we will be right back, right? And
Okay.
when we are here, when we come back, we'll be right back. And when we do, Steve Vartanian will be here.
Yay.
More after this.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
We're back, man.
Okay.
What's happening? Steve Vartanian is here with us.
I'm on the New York set. Back
Yeah,
home.
you are.
Yeah, back
Yeah,
home.
you're a New Yorker, and
Yeah.
you grew up a massive Letterman fan. What's this
Yeah,
like?
Letterman fan and all the talk shows. I mean, it's cool to see the desk. The whole Bill Murray spraying thing is, meeting him over time.
25 years ago.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah, you've got a Bill Murray story. Okay, well, can we get into that?
Sure.
All right, so 25 years ago, yeah, Bill Murray spray painted
Yep.
Dave on the first episode of The
Right.
Late
It could
Show.
be some remnants of, if you took a light, maybe that could be.
Honestly, it probably is. I don't know how they, if they painted over it or wiped it off. I have no
Right.
idea. But it's definitely the same
Still
desk.
better than the Jimmy Fallon Late Show desk. That was the worst.
Oh,
Remember that?
yeah, you mean his late night desk?
Late night show, yeah. The late night desk.
Somebody told me there was
Like a piece of plywood that was stained.
the stains didn't even match.
No.
Somebody told me a story, and I don't
My
know if this is
sister
true or
knows about
not. I
it.
feel like somebody told us the story that that was actually like that desk for some reason had a sentimental reason to Jimmy. It was actually a real desk, like it had drawers and stuff.
Oh.
If anybody were to come back around the back side of this, there's no drawers here. I mean,
No.
it's a production set.
Maybe
It's
it was
got buttons for shit to work,
Yeah,
but
but
it's not
I mean,
like
there's
an
nothing
office
here.
desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just exactly.
I remember with the Conan as well. When Conan was the Late Show, he was kind of a cheap set as well. Like NBC decided, well, this is a Late Show. We'll just make everything really just leftover
Late night, yeah,
cheap
again.
stuff, But then Jimmy Fallon came on, you think, oh, well, that desk is horrible, But then, now the show's kind of like, I don't even watch the show, but
All right, well,
yeah.
you've got a Bill Murray story, and before I ever even knew you, just through social media, I think I posted something, and you were like, "Oh, I've got a good story for that someday." Blah blah blah, and here we are.
yes,
It's
yes.
someday.
I'm very excited to be here. I was in New York, moving to California for a dream job, which working at Singer Porsche Design.
Which you got. Good job.
Singer
Yes.
Vehicle Design. Porsche is just a product we fix there. So
Reimagined by Singer, right?
Reimagined, yes. Now I'm there nitpicking everything. I'm very much quality assurance. That's my big thing. So, yeah, so the move happened, and I'd contacted you guys because I thought it was so cool that you guys exactly even better when I met you guys. At the 2 weeks before I came here, you did the breakfast run,
Yeah, that's right.
which I'd try to go both times, once with my regular car and once with my vintage Porsche.
Oh, you did do that. That's right. You showed up in a Honda first
my
time.
Honda.
That's right.
Which I think tomorrow I'm going to bring my daughter with the Honda.
Oh, great.
So I told you about that.
Oh, it'll be good to see you again.
Yeah, she's never been on like a real a mountain climb, and that's a.
So, is that the best car to bring?
think-
Of all of your cars that are here?
It's probably the safest for her, and
Oh, well,
it's
safest,
cooler,
sure, yeah.
and I also have to go.
Oh, it's going to be hot tomorrow. Air conditioning is the way to go. Yeah, smart.
And I kind of carved the canyon with that big thing anyway.
I
so
know.
I think you guys are-
We followed, not knowing it was you. I remember
Right.
following that day, the day you're speaking of. I remember
Yeah.
coming, descending.
I'm not a race car driver, but I know the line every once in a while. So, but yeah, so that was the whole thing. Moving here and just saying, hey, I got a story for you guys, and I've worked. I mean, we're talking from the late '80s to now, working with celebrities and the film car business and everything in New York. So, a lot of stories with celebrities and models and photographers.
So you worked in the picture car business as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I was
or
working-
did we talk about that?
We talked maybe quick, but maybe
Okay.
I don't know.
Different life.
I was uninterested and moved on.
Yes.
Rude.
Yes, and I tend to talk too much about it. But yeah, stories galore. I mean, even the dumbest stories.
Well,
we
let's
don't
hear the
think
Bill
about.
Murray story. What
All
happened
right, so
with
the
Bill Murray?
story, I was working in
This is in New York?
New York City. I went back to work for Cooper Classics in the West Village.
Okay.
Cooper Classics.
Yeah.
Nice
They're still
place.
around,
They're
right?
Still there. Yep. Great place, great people.
It's a car thing, yeah?
It's a car dealership, and they do a film car business.
Okay.
And back in the
But for like
early '90s, they were like the premier film car business, and they still are.
But for rare cars,
Yeah,
right? Not
classic.
just for like an ambulance or a
Well,
police car.
They used to do some of that, but mostly specific cars.
Okay.
And when I was there in '93 working for them for the first time, they did restoration, they did repairs, and they did film cars.
Didn't they have that War of the World? Not War of the Worlds. War of the Roses car. Wasn't that them? That whatever it was. That,
Oh,
I
that
can't
Morgan?
remember. Yeah,
I'm
it
not
was
sure
something
if
like
it
that, or
was
an
that.
Austin Healey or
He
something.
did do stuff in the '80s as well. I think that's how he started. I think he did the Arthur car.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's a cool one.
Because he started in that.
Bitterman, take the puck. You know how I love the puck.
Yes. That's another great one. But yeah, so in the '90s, I worked in that film, and they were like pioneering that whole industry. And when I went back in the 2000s to work for him for other reasons of going back to the car business, which is where I am now, I was working in there, working on cars, like kind of getting things ready for him. And Bill Murray comes walking in, and he's wearing like a construction outfit, a vest, and
what year is this
hard
about?
hat.
Everything?
07.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 07, he comes walking in, and no one's in the showroom, and I'm like, "Hey, I know you." He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he was really cool. I didn't go like, "Hey, I want to be your fan." I learned from all the years working in that business to keep the celebrities like everyone else. Don't treat them like
Yeah, everybody's just
Yeah.
a person, yeah.
other people will be like, I want your picture. But no. Hey, so what are you doing here? You like cars? And he's like, oh, yeah, I got a couple Ferraris, this and that, you know. So they're probably for about 15 minutes talking about homes in Connecticut, cars, divorce.
I think he lived in Connecticut at one point, or maybe still does,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
had a place.
Upstate, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Litchfield, or something.
So we talked a little bit, and it was enough of a conversation where I feel like he maybe would remember something one day. Never thought I'd see him again. Out he goes, goodbye. So now it's...
So he didn't buy anything. He was just you
he
just shot the
walked
shit
in.
for a few
yeah,
minutes.
he just
and that
walked
was it.
in. You know, it's a place in the West Village on Perry Street. It's so beautiful. You walk in, it's like, oh my God, this is like beautiful. All these cars.
So he might not even been going there. He was just doing
Yeah,
something down there.
Might have
And
just
came
been
through.
walking
walked
by.
in.
Walking by, it's like, what
Yeah.
the hell is this? You know?
Yeah. Cool.
And so now let's fast forward to winter time of that year, I think, or maybe a little after the winter. I don't remember the exact date, but it was, very similar, close. So now I lived in Staten Island at the time, was working at Cooper's, I think. So I take a ferry back. So now I get to the ferry terminal, waiting, there's a mob of people, and sure enough, I'm just like, I'm very observant. I catch things out of not even looking for it. I'm like, that guy looks familiar over there. I'm like, wait a minute. And he's taller than most people, so I'm looking like, that's Bill Murray. Is that Bill Murray?
We should mention that you have an insane attention for detail,
Yes,
and that's
yes.
one of the reasons you got a job at Singer.
Yes,
Yeah.
too insane of detail.
Right.
That's
So,
all- yeah. Yeah.
while this may sound like a crazy story to someone else, okay, you picked Bill Murray out of a crowd of 500
No,
people. You really did, probably. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you the story. So I start working my way through the crowd to really make sure it's him. So I get closer. He's wearing an overcoat and a hat, and I'm like, that's him. So sure enough, I'm like, I'm gonna just kind of lurk on him, or what do they call that?
Stalk, I think.
Stalk him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lurk on him. Gee whiz, that's a worse.
I guess.
You unbuttoning your trench coat or what?
Yeah. Well, I was doing. A
Gee
little.
whiz.
So sure enough, we got on the ferry. We go and get on. I'm like, like I said, watching him where he's going. He went to one side, I went to the other side. So now the ferry ride's a good 25 minutes, 30 minutes from leaving to land.
Port to port, yeah.
So I'm sitting there going, I got to talk to him. I got to say something. I feel weird. He's going to Staten Island. Why is he going there? I got to go say something. So halfway through the trip, I walk
You're
over.
writing your own story.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So I walk around and I go, and I see him sitting there, and no one's even knows it's him. They're just sitting there. He's with some guy with a beard. I'm like,
David Letterman? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
a young guy. So sure enough, I go, hey, Bill, remember me from the car Cooper Club? Hey, how you doing? Come on down. Sit right. I was like, not even
Nice.
expecting that.
That's amazing.
So I'm like, what are you doing?
All of a sudden, you became a buffer.
Exactly. So now everyone's kind of like saying, who's this guy talking to? Everyone minds their own business on the ferry. No one cares what's going on.
No, yeah.
You could kill somebody and they'd be like, why they got leaning on me,
Oh, New York.
So we start talking. I'm like, so what are you doing? Oh, we're going to Staten Island to get some food. I'm like, oh, where are you going? And I wasn't a big food guru of the area, but I knew where not to go, or maybe it's like, oh, we're going to try this place. It's like 15-minute drive. I'm like, well, how are you getting there? Oh, we just do whatever. We'll get in a cab. I'm like, oh.
He's one of those people that wings life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do it, and we'll figure it out on the way.
And the guy at the beer was his son.
Oh,
Yes,
cool.
Yeah, so it was really cool. So we're talking a little bit. And I was like, well, maybe you want to go. I could show you somewhere. If you just get off the ferry, you could walk there. He's like, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm like, oh,
This
great.
is how he lives his life. It's like he
Yeah.
met you on the way, and then
Yes.
you changed his plans.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So it was like another 10 minutes on the ferry. And then, now people kind of like seeing him because he's being more of himself. Like, the
Yeah.
character. And like, hey, Bill, Stripes, or, Ghostbusters. Always Ghostbusters.
Oh, in New York, of course, sure.
So he's kind of like brushing them off. No one's taking pictures. Everyone's like really cold. It's a cold day. So we wait to get off the ferry. The ferry gets in. I'm just asking him a few questions. Like, so, you've been here before? Oh, yeah. So when we get off the ferry, it's a good 7-8 minute walk to this little wine restaurant. And I was going home. I was getting a phone call. My daughter, who's here now, was like 4. And my mom was visiting from Long Island. And
You're like, I'm
they're
out with Bill
"We're ordering
Murray."
Chinese. Yeah, they call the phone. I had a phone. And like,
She's on her phone right now watching Liza Koshy while we record this.
exactly.
Just
So,
kidding.
and she'll be 13 now, so you tell you how many years ago that was. But yeah, so they're calling me on the phone like, Ma, I got to go. I'll tell you later. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm going to order the Chinese food. Yes. It was one of those Chinese food nights, which is around the corner. I had to get home,
Oh, sure.
go get it, come back up. So we're walking. I'm asking him about, so he's telling me about how he's come to Staten Island during the taping of the show. Afterwards, there's a late night, all-night place right off the ferry.
Saturday Night Live days.
Yeah. some of those days.
1970s, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And at
cool.
the time, I watched some Wes Anderson, but then I think after 07, I got more into Wes Anderson, as like obsessed. So I couldn't really ask him much questions about that whole thing.
Oh, yeah, you weren't very well knowledge yet.
Yeah, I was more into the old movies from
What
Stripes.
would be your favorite Wes Anderson Bill Murray movie?
I actually like him. not my favorite one, but I actually like him in the first one.
Me too, Rushmore.
Rushmore.
Yeah, so
just
good.
something about
They're
him.
all great. They're all great. I love them all, but
Moonrise
that first
Kingdom,
one is
he played
so
the great
good.
like nasty father, where he's like, you know.
Steve Zissou and the hotel one, he's fantastic in all of them.
Yeah.
I love that Wes apparently is one of those people who gets a straight yes,
Yes.
from the 800 number. Anyway, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, so whatever. We walk in and we talk a little bit more, and his son asked his son a couple questions. We talk a little bit more about cars. There was plenty of time to talk. I mean, he was just totally cool. He wasn't like brushing me off. I bring him to the restaurant. I had never been to this restaurant. I've only known friends that went there. So it was a new place. It was called Paninoteca, and it was a wine place where Italian women would come from.
So you've got some confidence on you.
Yeah.
Because you've never even been to this place yet. You're going to go recommend it to Bill Murray and then walk him there.
Yeah, I'm already like, wow, hands
Yeah, because I'm thinking like,
that's-
oh, I wouldn't want to get involved for the sake of,
Well, I
maybe
wouldn't-
the bread isn't good or whatever, you know?
No, I think I knew it was good from some Italian
Someone
food
you did trust.
connoisseurs that we trust in
Okay.
the neighborhood. So I was like, I know it'll be good. So I brought him there, and like a dummy, I just like left him at the door. Hey, have a good time. Didn't walk him in and say, hey, to the owners. So maybe I can go back one day and say, I brought Bill.
Yeah, that would be your setup.
Right. So as soon as I pushed him in, I walked away, and I was just a regular guy now, getting home, hoping I wouldn't get mugged or whatever. Got
Chinese
home,
food.
got Chinese food, and hey, you know who I saw? And yeah, great, you know. So this is before, I didn't even have an iPhone then. This is 07. I got it late and couldn't take pictures. So
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm not a picture person. Memories, it's all here. So
Yes.
yes. So I have a couple stories where I met celebrities, and as soon as we left like the carpet, I was back to being Mr. Regular Guy. So
That's how it
so
goes.
it feels good for a second,
Yeah,
and then all of a
that's
sudden you're like, you know. So
It's
good.
Let me tell you something. Whatever it feels good for a second, if you maintain it, it doesn't feel good.
No.
It doesn't keep. It only feels good for a second. Period.
Right.
Even if
Yeah.
you stayed there.
right.
So know
Yeah,
that.
Right. Well, I
You
didn't wanna
got your
overstay.
taste.
I didn't want to overstay. It was just enough time.
You get to have
Perfect.
that story forever.
Yes. And
you
if
know.
I ever meet him again, he'd probably remember that.
Exactly.
So-
So that's that.
And then I think about 5 years later, I went to the place finally. And it was there with a friend late night when the food was not being served anymore. And the owner was there, and he's giving us free wine because my friend goes there. I'm like, hey, do you remember when Bill Murray came? Oh, yeah, he came here one day. I'm like, yeah, I brought him here. And
He
he's
was
like,
going somewhere else, and
"Yeah,
I
he's going
insisted he come
somewhere
here.
else. I insisted he come here. And he goes, oh, okay. And I'm waiting for the free drink.
Nothing.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm never coming back here again.
If he
And I did.
became
I moved
if he
away.
became a regular, maybe that would be a thing.
Yeah.
So I moved away from there, and
So you're saying you don't have an in with Bill Murray because that's the only reason I actually accepted you here because we
Oh,
wanted to get
well.
him here. No, I'm just kidding.
I may have a golf tournament with him and maybe Sean Connery still, if he's still playing golf. So
Sean Connery, I think, is still breathing,
It's
but that
still
may
alive.
be it.
He's
And
right.
I'm a big fan
I'm
also.
a big fan of Sean Connery, but yes,
I
I
had a-
become 80 something and wear the baggy shirts and
I had a friend on. I worked on the TV show Everybody Hates Chris on the Paramount lot, and our prop guy, Brenton Lane. Shout out to Brenton Lane, and Ilya actually. They worked on his last movie, Sean Connery's last movie, which was the
I thought it
superhero
was-
one
yeah,
with
I thought
the
it was
car.
the bicycle one where he's a teacher, but that's the one before I think.
You're the man now, dog. Finding Forrester. No, it was the other one with Distinguished Gentleman or the Disorderly Gentleman or
I don't remember.
Yeah, they're like superheroes.
The World of the Distinguished Gentleman
Yeah,
or something
they
like
had
that.
car that they found here in LA. I think.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
That's
Anyway, they
6-wheeler.
said even then, whenever they did that movie, which I think was early, it was easily 15 years ago, they said he was, what you saw was the most moving and animated he was. He was an old man who'd been
wow.
doing it his whole life then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was a while ago.
I always think of him from The Rock. That's it.
Well,
like,
the Rocky's so good.
He-
Good speed, Godspeed, Godspell.
yeah, that's
That
it.
was like his little from the I guess late 90s to like the mid 2000s. A little stretch there, or mid 90s to like 10-year break.
It's hard.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite things he's in, though. And I love the original James Bonds, Thunderball and Goldfinger and Dr.
And
No,
I think
of
I
course.
told you when I met you that my way of traveling, because I didn't travel the world, I've been to Italy once, and other than that, I've never left the country. But my way of traveling as a kid was movies, and I saw movies. My first movie was, I think, Live and Let Die, James Bond, one of the first. Either that or Blazing
you remember
Saddles.
it. That's awesome.
Yeah, Blazing Saddles 72. Maybe?
I always get Live and Let Die wrong. It's not the one I think it is, right? I always think it's the one with the Golden Gate Bridge and the blimp.
No, that's the last Roger Moore.
Okay.
That's Zoran Industries.
But what? So which one's Live and Let Die?
is where it's got the voodoo thing, and it has again another connection. Sorry, with the Uncola guy, Jeffrey Holder.
Yeah.
so
From
as a-
Annie.
Yeah, so as a kid, I'm watching this movie. I remember the beginning.
The
the beginning of the movie
Uncola.
starts off with the skull, and it starts with the music from the Paul McCartney band with his wife.
Wings?
Wings, yes, they have the theme song. So I remember seeing that, and all of a sudden, the part in the movie there's a a beheading or cut. I'm like, oh my god, But I got to learn about Jamaica.
What movie are you talking about? I totally got lost.
The
This is
Living
the
Like
same
That.
one. There was a beheading.
The beheading or like
Oh my gosh.
a biting of a snake and stabbings and his alligators and it's just a whole bunch of
Holy shit! It's the one down in the Florida swamps with the boat races and everything. The boat chase.
yeah,
and
the boat
everything.
chase with the
Where
sheriff.
They jumped the thing and everything.
Yeah, and
oh,
the
that's
first time
great.
they brought the sheriff on, who did the whole like, and then they brought him back for.
It's in the U.S. It's like a weird James Bond.
Yeah,
in
it
the,
starts in
the
New
US.
York, so it actually shows New York. And,
Oh.
And again, even as a little kid being a car guy, I would notice all the cars were Chevys, not
that's
Fords.
funny.
And then all of a sudden, there's this Corvette Eldorado called the Corvado that she used, and the mirror shoots the driver of James Bond's car, and it crashes over by the ferry terminal down in South Ferry.
No kidding.
And then later on, they show Harlem, and it's it was back during blaxploitation time, so they pumped up the whole blaxploitation with the lights and the fur coats.
When was this? 70 something?
72, 71.
Yeah.
Wow. That was the time, actually. Yeah.
So that movie, and then watching The Sign Adventure and Gene Hackman, all that stuff early in my memory. And then every movie since then. I even saw Michael Caine and Sean Connery in The Man Who Would Be King, which is John Huston's last movie, I think. Saw that
Wow,
in
look
the
at you
theater.
go. So you're a bit of a savant, and like you're a IMDb yourself, right? Because you just remember it all.
I have to always keep looking because I'm like, I want to see where they filmed that, But being here in LA is definitely.
I was going to ask,
Yeah.
do you do the movie locations thing? Because I don't.
I wouldn't go on a tour, but I do my own. And
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm asking because I don't get starstruck, and you seem like you might be the type that doesn't get starstruck either. But I nerd out over this stuff, like
Yeah, well-
these props and or a movie location where something was done.
Yeah.
I don't know why I nerd out about that stuff. I think
get
it's
that way,
neat.
too.
I'm just whatever feeling that these childhood movies invoked at the time when I had an emotional intelligence of
Yes.
lesser than today. For
living-
some reason, it still brings back the heartstrings. It tugs on all those things.
Yeah, well, living in the city, I lived in the city in Manhattan downtown from 91 to 2003. So I was in right there during the change, the Giuliani change or the Dinkins.
From
ending.
Dinkins to Giuliani.
Yeah, so I saw all the change downtown and Soho and the shopping, but it was still run down still. It was actually a cool time if you talk to some people, the 90s with graffiti artists still then. I mean, you had, I think, I remember even seeing Banksy, and I don't know, forgot what he looks like, but I did meet the guy.
Gee whiz.
That's
And now
awesome.
everyone's like, wait a minute, no one knows who he is. I'm like, wait, I remember meeting him. Cause
There
he
was a time when people did.
He was spraying down in Lafayette and Prince Street, all these figures, and my friend had a parking lot. He's an attendant at a parking lot, and he remembers having coffee with him, chatting with him, and then also, what's his name, Farley?
Chris Farley?
No, sorry. What's his name again? The guy who does the Obey, the artist who does the
With the
Yes,
with
Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant.
He's
and everything,
famous,
yeah.
big now. He did the whole Obama
What is
thing.
his name? I can't think of it.
I just can't. I don't have my phone to flip.
I would have said Banksy though, and
No.
I knew it was wrong, but that's the only one I can think of.
Right. But he was there as well. I remember him putting a few things. I mean, you'd see these people. I remember walking. David Bowie had just bought on Lafayette Street, and I'd see him and Iman, and you didn't think anything of it. No one would even think, oh, it's David Bowie. I'd see REM.
Nobody would think anything of
Michael-
it. It's fucking Bowie.
Well, that's what it was. I'm
Pardon
telling
my
you,
pardon my language.
In New York City, I wouldn't see people running to him.
Yeah.
We were walking for a few blocks.
You're right about that, though. I told a story just yesterday about seeing Paul Newman on the street
Yeah.
and Joanne Woodward together, and we were just
Yeah.
all at a crosswalk together.
Yeah, Paul Newman. I think I told you that one. But while I was walking the street, I'd see, Michael Stipe walking with his crew, and they're walking into Soho. No one thinking anything twice. Stop at the light. You look at his face. Hey, smile. Keep walking. And then even
I want to hear your Paul Newman story
the
too.
Paul Newman story. Yes. Well, there's a connection with Big Lebowski on the Paul Newman story.
What?
Wow.
I
So
didn't
Paul
know
Newman.
that.
So
Well, I grew up in the town where Paul Newman, right next to where Paul Newman lived.
Connecticut, right,
yeah,
right. A couple of Paul Newman stories, but Paul Newman, I got to meet with Joanne Woodward, and he was at the premiere with Lauren Bacall
Wow.
for the Big Lebowski premiere in New York City, and I was able to work it with my ex-wife at the time and my sister.
Because he had done Hudsucker
Yes.
Proxy
Hudsucker was a couple years before.
with the Coen brothers.
Yes.
Wow.
So he was invited,
Cool.
and I was excited to see, Jeff Bridges, who I loved always from all the movies. So I get there, we're doing the premiere. We didn't get to see the movie. We had to actually greet them in. My sister and my ex-wife at the time, they gave her those pinheads, and they're like, we're not putting these on. So they didn't put it on. But we're just greeting them in. They went to the theater, and I remember opening the door, and they're laughing at the scenes with the whole Hussein thing and stuff.
Sure.
So the movie ends, they come out, and Paul Newman it was a rainy morning, night. So Paul Newman comes out, and he has an umbrella, and he's just kind of like, no one's even around him, no one's talking to him. He's kicking the umbrella with his foot, making like circles.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to
Almost singing in the rain, right? Just kind of kicking it up.
like once or twice. Like I told my sister, I'm like, I got to go talk to Paul Newman. I got to look at his blue eyes. So, one day when he's
This
on
is how
TV
you were with Bill Murray,
Yes,
though.
yes.
But you have the guts to go up and do this. I can't wait to hear.
This is before Bill Murray. This is 98. So
Whenever that movie,
when the movie came out,
yeah. Right.
So, which at the time, no one even cared about the movie. No one even liked it.
Yeah.
So
Went away.
yeah, there was no one outside like, oh my God, Lebowski. So he's there. He's waiting for the bathroom to them come out of the bathroom. Her and Lauren Bacall. So I walk up, I'm like, oh, Mr. Newman, how you doing? He's like, he shook my hand, right, piercing blue eyes in my eye. I'm like, so nice to meet you. I go, I just want to say I love all your racing stuff and the movie Winning. And as soon as I said the movie Winning, he was like, oh, racing.
You got through the velvet ropes because
Yeah.
you knew the fucking password. Holy
Yeah.
cow. And again, excuse my
Yes.
language, but wow, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
He wasn't
Okay.
like brushing me off like, oh my God, racing is a
Well, you said the
wonderful-"
right thing.
Yeah, so we talked about 5 minutes about racing a little bit, about Lime Rock Racetrack, his Nissan.
That's where we
Datsun
used to see
days.
him
That's
up
your-
there.
yeah.
Yeah, that was my connection with him.
Yeah, and I was already going to Lime Rock every fall festival, but I never saw him
Cool.
race. But still, just talking at his age, whatever he was at the time, and then all of a sudden his wife and Lauren Bacall.
How old
come
were
out.
you at the time? I mean, were you I mean, that's
was
20 years ago, so you were
30.
younger.
I was 98, 31.
Okay.
I'm going to be 50 in a couple weeks. So yeah.
Do you still look like a kid? Because I was a kid. I mean, he was always talking to the kids. Like he wanted.
And I didn't look.
he
I look, I look
wanted
the same as I am now without the gray. So,
Okay.
And maybe no grub. Same shaved head. So yeah, same guy. Always like asking questions. So he's talking to me, and his wife and Lauren Bacall come out, and my sister actually went and said hi to Lauren Bacall because she was a movie person too. So he actually like waited for them while they're talking about cars, and then they like waited a second, and then they left. And there was a whole thing at the Chelsea Piers bowling. It was like a whole event was a movie, and then Chelsea Piers bowling event.
Yeah.
So we actually went to the Chelsea Piers for that as well to greet them, but we didn't get to go to the bowling. I heard that, I think Jeff Bridges maybe showed up to that one.
Makes sense because the bowling and all.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to see the premiere, but I'll go to the bowling. So after the people were leaving, and Willem Dafoe was there and some other people from their movies. So the movie ends, the bowling ends, and my sister and I, we got to go in and clean up a little bit. And I think I may have told you this, there were these big chocolate bars.
Yes.
Had nothing to do with the movie, but
I remember that part.
yeah. I'm not talking like just chocolate. Massive chocolate bars. That
One of
were
those
made-
5-pounder kind of deals.
Yeah, for Lebowski, and they gave away like a T-shirt and a bowling blanket.
What's the significance? I don't remember any
I don't
chocolate
know
in the movie.
yeah, I don't know what it was. I
Oh,
think
okay.
whoever did the props or set up for it was like, we got
Gotcha.
chocolate for them. So when we were looking around, there was like a couple of half-eaten chocolate bars. And so my sister and I were just grabbing all the chocolate bars, even the half-eaten ones, because I felt like they didn't put their mouth to it. It's fine. So for
And or cut some off. It's still 4
Yeah.
pounds of chocolate.
So for like a few months, we had some
Sounds good.
chocolate, gave it away. But we got a really boring T-shirt that just said Big Lebowski with like the theater name, and then they gave you a bowling towel and said Big Lebowski. That was it. And they gave you a
It's
CD.
cool that you
with
got
the
to
music.
go to that, though. That's so neat.
So that was a cool thing with meeting him there. But that's a cool story. And then I never saw him again.
So, but basically, you got through just because you were talking about racing, and then he just yapped your ear off about racing.
Yeah, we talked a little bit. Yeah. So just I don't know. I wasn't trying to I'm going to get in. It was just talk
that's
about
awesome.
one thing. And that happened with Jackie X too. I met Jackie X. the
I don't know
race
who
car
Jackie
driver,
X is.
Race car driver.
Okay.
Formula One driver and a Grand
Oh.
Prix driver for Porsche, and he was at the Rennsport. A lot of people meet him now, so it's not that hard to meet him.
Okay.
But for me, it was like, oh my God, there he is, So he's from, I'm losing my mind here, Switzerland. So,
If you think that you're losing your mind, you're not. You are rapidly going through these things. Like, don't.
I know, I'm rapidly
If you
going.
think, oh, well, there's a pause while I don't remember something, I assure you, the rest of us are blinking.
It's a nanosecond.
You're fine. Yeah,
all the
yeah,
people
you're
that
fine.
watch your show that are Porsche related would be like, oh, I met Jackie X, who cares? But for me, it was like, oh my God, there he is at this event. He's just by himself. So I walked up. I go, all the people I want to meet, I want to walk up to him and say hello. And he had a show that winter before called the X and Merckx show. And Eddie Merckx is a famous bicycle racer, one of the best, if not the best, of that 70s. And so they had a show together because they're both from the same country, and they did an X and Merckx show. They had Jackie X's race cars and Eddie Merckx bikes. And I remember like, oh, if I could just go to Europe and see that, was so cool. So sure enough, I see him, and my first thing was, oh my God, how you doing? I go, I'm so happy to see you because my other favorite guy is Eddie Merckx. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, come on over. He like hugged me.
You know
Whoa.
weird fun facts about people. That
I just
is
brought
the
up Eddie
neatest
Merckx
thing.
because I like Merckx, and they had a show together. I'm like, I missed the show, but so cool. So can I get a picture with you? And I never asked for pictures, but I had to get a shot. It's like, yeah, no problem. He's like, oh my God, anytime. You like Eddie Merckx? Yes. So
That's so cool.
That's so
and anyone
cool.
who's watching and wants to meet Jackie X. Just bring up Eddie Merckx. Maybe they'll kick you away now, but that was something good. So,
Can we talk about the gift that you brought us?
yes, it's a kooky little gift.
I think it's incredibly sweet, so much so
Yeah.
that we wanted to do it on the show
This is
because it's
something
very,
that
very thoughtful, I think.
Well, you could show it to whoever you want, but
Sure.
so it's a kind of a kooky thing. You could, I mean, if you really look, you could probably buy this if you look hard enough. But it's the thing that I have. It's a record album from Riverside Raceway, Riverside.
Whoops, it is.
What's it? LPs.
It's really neat.
It's
Yeah, it's
there's
very
a
cool.
record in there, and it's really cool because I love old LPs, and I have an old Japanese Panasonic portable player, and you just put it on, and it's got the scratchy, grainy sound. So
Specifically, can we get a close up of this, Hal?
So I have a silly award I give away because I'm just this big famous guy, and it's called the SVR Room Award. And I kind of gave 2 away already back in New York to guys that I feel that are just amazing people, and they're just so successful. They're moving up in world and just so good. So I came out here and I wanted to, when I met you guys, I'm like, I'm gonna give them one of these
It
things.
means a
So-
lot.
And you could hang on your wall. You could take it apart, listen to the music.
Well, what I was going to say is once you got here, you see that it fully matches our style and our stuff.
Beautiful
I mean,
place. Yes, it matches perfectly. So.
it's very cool, and it means a lot to us. We
Thank
think
you,
it's
thank
very, very cool, and it will be up somewhere when you're here next, whether
Great.
it's in the studio someplace
That's
or
cool.
out there.
No, thanks. And there's 2 other people in New York that have that right now, and
It's for the
they
third
should feel
one.
honored that
We
they
do.
have it too. So
It's very
you know,
cool.
Thank you. So yeah, so
You Porsche guys have a very unique thoughtfulness to you, I find.
yeah.
So thank you for
you have
cementing
good
that.
Porsche people here. You had John Benton, who I
Yeah.
know and respect well, and
He gave me
also
this.
your TGL.
Oh, TLG, Marco.
TLG,
Yeah,
Marco, yes.
yeah, Marco.
I met him once.
Great
He's a really
friend.
super nice guy.
Yeah.
Super
I'm
nice
just
guy.
slowly trying to get in with some of the local Porsche guys here, and you
Well,
know.
this is a good place to do that because
Yeah.
our goal here is to sort of be a hub of sorts.
And you've met me at a few shows where gatherings where you see I'm kind of just low key. I don't want to, not flashy. I don't bring up anything that's, oh, I do this. No, I don't care. It's just like, hey, I love cars. I've been involved with cars my whole life since I'm a little baby. So, and Porsches are mostly foreign cars. So I grew up
What's
with
going on with your self-esteem? That seems to be the only problem. Everything else is grand.
self-esteem. It's taking time, but it's kicking up a notch. So.
Did you go
LA
through
yeah.
something? Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we all go through stuff.
I guess life. I mean,
Yeah.
50 years. It takes a lot. So
Did some living in
a
50
new
years.
50, a new style here in California would be the key. So a lot of cold weather. New York is a little getting to me. So the sun here is getting to me a little bit, but I love the sun and I can't complain. So
Well, we're excited to have you here. I know we can't talk too much about what you do at Singer for the nature of what you do at Singer and all. But how's it going? Are you enjoying it? Are you happy over there? Are you doing things that inspire you and make you happy?
Yes, I'm very happy there. There are a bunch of great people. Everyone there is excellent. I mean,
And the product they turn out is
product is amazing. It's just I'm in, just to go there every day and to be like, oh my God, this is where I'm working.
Yeah.
And I'm around this cars. And for me, especially because, again, since I'm little, I've always been detail oriented, and to be hired to look for details and to make sure things
to
are
pick it apart.
yeah, for it to be perfect, and a lot of guys there are younger, working. It's their first job, maybe their second, their third. I have so much experience with Porsche again, with
Yeah.
vintage Porsches, and these cars are there, and just to see the whole process and
It's a
be
good
part
fit.
of it. Yeah, so
It's a good fit.
It's close by, and it's just been a great change.
You probably can't say this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Did you have anything? Did you get brought on to? Okay, you just released a new car recently, Singer,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a looker, and it's getting a heck of a lot of attention.
Yes, it blew up the internet definitely when it was released. That car.
What's it called? I can't remember. The lightweight something.
DLS.
DLS. Okay.
DLS, yeah. They just introduced it in England. That's being built in England with Williams.
Oh, really?
F1, yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't get to see the car, but I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be here at the Monterey Car Week.
Sure.
Which will be introduced over there
Cool.
for the Americans. So
When's
Very
that?
cool.
which is coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I've
September,
never
right?
been to it, and I'd love to have gone this year, but I think I have to work, and I don't want to take off. But I think
You're the new guy. They'll all be up there, and you got to work. That's how it works.
Yeah, well, I work in the group. The sales guys and the after sale, they all get to go and schmooze. But I got to make sure the other cars have to be done right. So
You keep the line moving
Good
while they
job.
go
Keep
sell
the
more
line
cars.
moving, get them right.
Yeah.
Again, just keep it.
But you're enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it. Yeah,
I'm really glad to hear that.
I'm enjoying it.
It's a big move for you coming all the way across country.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's a big deal.
big move with vehicles and stuff. So
Yeah, you have a bunch of cars. All right, so before we get into that, can we talk about what is your history? You say I've got a lot of history with Porsche and stuff. I know there was Cooper and there's other. You also own a few cars.
yeah, I've owned a bunch of cars growing up because I've always been into vintage cars. So back when I got my license in '84, it was a vintage car because I was around vintage cars. So going back to my grandfather from his
Plus,
country,
if you got a brand new car in '84, you'd be a douchebag.
right, be driving a Camaro or a Firebird. or
No,
something.
I just mean whose first car is brand new. It sucks. Nobody likes you.
Right. Yeah, so my grandfather was involved with Volkswagens back in his country, where my family's from, which is from Iran, but they're from Tehran. But
Oh,
we're 100% Armenian.
beautiful.
From Tehran. Whole different country, whole different world back then. So my grandfather, on my
Quite
mom's
literally,
side-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much like Paris. It was like it was like being in Europe. It was amazing. Some of the
Wow.
stories. It wasn't anything like you see in the news or what they're showing you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
So, so my grandfather worked with Volkswagens in Tehran. It was the only distributor of VWs, and I forgot the guy's name who brought it there, but he introduced a lot of westernized stuff to Iran. He brought Pepsi Cola. He brought a lot of. If you Google his name, he has a huge palette.
Yeah, no big deal. Pepsi.
Yeah, Pepsi and
Jeez.
just a lot of stuff. And so my grandfather worked for him under the Volkswagen distributor, and my uncle still tells me stories about them going to the Caspian Sea, and they'd be driving the cars back. So him and a crew of guys, they wouldn't just truck them back; they'd drive a bunch back.
Wow.
So he'd hear the rocks hitting, rocky road.
Yeah, the old days.
Yeah, my grandfather was in charge of the body shop painting department, so he was literally a painter, artist in the day, painting. Bringing it back to original factory looks. With the rock strips.
Whoa.
I only have a few pictures of him on his knee, kind of with a old spray pan.
How cool is that, though? You don't have memory of any of that, do you?
No, I wasn't born. That's
Oh,
the
this is
50s.
when he was young.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was growing up, he was still around. He died in '94, I think. And so when I got my first Volkswagen in '87, it was an oval window 57. He
Cool.
was like, "Whoa, this is really cool." I remember giving him a ride in, and he was so like, "Oh my God, this brings back memories." And
Really?
he was like 80 something at the time. So I got. to
Was that
drive
cool
him.
for you?
Yeah, it was cool. But I was still.
Those are
younger.
the moments, man.
Yeah, I
The
wish I
moments
remembered it
here
a
with you
little-
and your daughter. I mean, this is what you'll hang on to.
I wish I remembered it a little better, but basically, I noticed his smile on his face. And then later on in '97, I got a VW bus, 67 Deluxe, and he was gone already, but my grandma was still around, and she remembers
Cool.
that. And my mom remembers as a kid being in those vehicles because they drive from Tehran to the Caspian Sea in a VWs. Or the work would give him a VW, and he'd drive. She said they would get like a van, a panel van with seats in it, and all she remembered hearing is the rocks hitting the metal.
Wow.
So the
That's
memories
a
are very
cool
they're
memory to
still
have.
around for the memories, but yeah. And then my father was involved with cars when he got to this country. They came in '63, so he had a New York City cab. My father, medallion, 1969 to '76. I remember being a kid, being in the cab.
So you grew up around cars quite literally, and it was in your family
Well,
before. It was in the blood before you were even
Yeah,
born.
it wasn't until he opened a shop. He opened up a foreign car repair shop in Syosset, which that's
Okay.
another whole thing.
Yeah.
So we had a foreign car repair shop in Syosset from 76 to 85, 86. So in the 70s, he bought this shop. It was a clean little shop right in town. And everyone had foreign cars would bring their cars there. So we had Audis, the Audi Fox. You had the 320i BMW coming out, old VWs. We'd get our hands on used cars. My father would buy like a whole group of cars, 3 Volkswagens and a Porsche, all for like $2,000.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And he'd sell each one for maybe $800 and make a little profit.
Sure.
So that was my first taste of Porsche back in the 70s, and seeing the 356 and maybe a couple early 911s.
God, they were worth nothing back then.
Yeah. Well, we had 190. We were a lot of Mercedes. We grew up with Mercedes, so a lot of 108 bodies, 109 bodies, 280 SELs, 3.5 convertibles.
Wow.
I mean, nothing. We're just giving them away. We had 190 SL. I remember he paid $500 for. We cleaned it up, and I think he sold it for like $2,000. And it's like a real.
It's almost not even enough to do the work.
Right.
Can we talk about the cars that you have? I know they're mainly in storage because you drive your Honda every day, but you've got some cool cars
Right.
too.
I have a 66 912, which I bought in California in '03. Came out here, saw it. It's a LA car, but I bought it in Berkeley. 'cause
What
it worked its
color?
way up. Sand beige.
Is that the one
So
I've
pretty.
seen
You
that
saw
you've?
it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
saw it. I
pretty.
drove it a couple
I
times.
love
It's a
that.
real beater looker, but I like the way it looks. It's got this
I wouldn't call it a beater looker. I know you call it
I
that
call it
because of
beater
your
looker.
attention to detail. Anyone else would be like, oh, wow, this is
Well, from
fantastic.
the job I do, you'd never expect someone like me to have such
Agreed.
unperfect, not
Agreed.
perfect cars.
Any patina would be a surprise.
And all my cars have patina. So I got the 66 912, which I bought in '03. Still have it. I love everything about it. I have a 58 VW single cab, which I bought
right.
2 years ago here in California. Brought it back to New York, and then now I brought it back here. And I haven't driven it yet. I've been here 3 months, and it's still in storage.
Would you bring it over to Malibu Kitchen? Because I'm sure Bill would love to see it.
I've been wanting to bring
Oh
it
yeah,
there.
Bill would
Let's
love it.
let's do that.
Soon,
Yeah, one of the
I
days
just
we
want to
do
bring
that.
it there. They got to know me a little bit, so Bill knows me now, so I could bring my
Oh,
912
good.
anytime.
Good.
And Susie's been great with the two dogs.
So
best.
nice.
I love
Yeah.
that place. Yes, we were just there yesterday, quick, but I didn't get to.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
so glad.
good.
Yeah.
They we have no affiliation with them in any
I
way,
know.
shape, or form, but they are so stinking nice to us that they feel like our family. I mean,
And getting there early, like you said, is the best. When you
Yeah.
get there early,
well, everything's fresh too.
fresh,
That's
yes.
nice.
and a lot of car guys go there expecting to see someone famous. But
Yeah. Also, but just for everyone else out there, get breakfast. People go there for coffee, or they go to Starbucks and then they hang out there. Go get breakfast at Malibu Kitchen, not just to support them because you should, but it's delicious.
It's so
It's
good.
really good. Yeah, get a breakfast sandwich or whatever.
he made
I
that
don't
great.
care what you
When he
get,
knew I
but-
was from New York, and he's from New York, he made me the best breakfast sandwich, which you guys witnessed.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
Well, he brought it over to
Yeah,
the
he
table
brought it
for
over
you.
to the
Yeah.
table. He goes, "Try this." If I didn't like it, maybe I'd have to pay for it.
If I
but like-
recall, he put it on the table and goes, "All right, since you said you're from New York, try this."
yeah,
What was on it?
it was just egg whites with
Cream cheese or
feta
something?
cheese or cream cheese. No, cream cheese.
He did
on a
something
bagel.
where it looked
It
better
was
than
so
ours.
good.
It was cut perfect. It was. I took a photograph of it.
Yeah. Benny, we love you and we love our bacon, egg, and
Love,
cheese, but I'll tell
love.
you what, it did look good.
Yes. So yeah, and I also have a 914, a 72 914. Again, it's in storage. Haven't driven it.
What color is that one? I haven't seen that
Signal
yet.
orange. No one's seen it. No one's seen any of them. Just the Honda and the 912.
Well,
So,
got to bring them out.
Wah, wah.
I'm trying to bring them out. When you bring them out, you use them. Something can go wrong. I'm trying to get in with people. So.
Well, that's the whole thing. So this is a great forum for that. So why don't we make that announcement right now? You
Yes.
have a bunch of cars you need maintained. You're
Yes.
new in town.
New in town.
You're clearly in the circle.
Yes. Thanks.
So you need somebody. So how do they find you on Instagram, or how do they find you? How do people find you without calling
the easiest
singer?
ways to find me is from my Instagram, which is svaroom. If you can put it up, I don't know, whatever I could say.
SVAR.
3 O's, M as in Mary. And then I have a little VAR house at VAR house, which I'm not using as much anymore because I'm out in New York. But I
Okay.
kind of do more props in there, which I was doing in
Okay.
New York. Because I did rent some stuff out with some prop shops.
What kind of stuff? Like automobilia stuff, or
Well,
just
see,
whatever?
I had lots of props of automobilia stuff. I mean, like I said, from that chair to tires. I own 2 Lamborghini LM002 tires that are huge, massive tires that I bought to make a table out of. And now I'm like, wait a minute, these are actually, people will buy these.
Yeah.
So anyone out there who has an LM002, I have 2
Welcome
tires.
to Tradio.
Yes.
But you need a shop.
Well, I don't want to shop. I would like my goal is to have somewhere to put my stuff, and I could basically have my.
No,
own
I mean you
space.
need a shop to maintain. You need
that
someone to
place.
maintain your
Yes,
vehicles.
yes. I know if I lived closer to Anaheim, John Benton would be a no-brainer. It's just so hard.
There's a lot of good people out there, man. John
Yeah.
Benton's fantastic.
John
If you
Benton.
live down there, you live up. Aren't you right by TLG?
Yeah, I'm right by there. Yes.
Well, then, gosh, let's make that introduction, man. Marco and TLG are great.
He had a car there that I went to go see because I worked on the car back in New York.
We talked about this. You saw my photo,
Yeah, I saw
and
your
that was
photo.
this. It was a formerly Seinfeld car. Rod Emery's dad built that car, or something.
Yeah, that car, and then that wasn't not the car. It was a clone of a Carrera GT.
Oh, that's what it was
Pushrod
with
car,
with the
yeah.
GT fuel tank.
Yes, that car I worked on back in New Jersey at a Porsche shop I used to work at called Vintage Auto.
What did you do on that car?
We built it. The car came in as a regular car, and we put the new aluminum panels. Just make.
So I mean, you helped build that
Yeah,
car.
yeah, I helped build it.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so
I was
cool.
Involved in ordering the parts, restoring it, putting it together,
That's
making
cool,
sure everything is
man.
perfect. And that was so long ago, but
course.
now the car has worked its way here, and he's told me I think something else was done to it. But he didn't know who I was, so I attacked him on Instagram, like, "Hey, I know that car," and he was like, "I go, please ask the Ryans, I'm credible, you know."
That's so
and I think
funny.
he did, right? So,
That's really funny.
That's really funny.
so yeah, so
It's
That
a
was a
big
connection.
spread out community of awesomeness that you've entered into out here.
Yes,
So
yes. That was the whole point of
welcome
coming
and
out here as well, too.
awesome.
Because I think I've driven my 912 more now in the past 3 months than I ever drove it in New York.
Oh, good.
Well, you can here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the weather and everything else.
The weather's great. Just my storage place is kind of far. It's like 15 miles each way. So, and they close at 5.
Yeah, you work and live near Singer, and then your cars are over by TLG. So if anyone knows where those two
further
things
than
are,
TLG is
they're...
Chatsworth. So I'm all the way in
Oh,
Chatsworth.
wow.
I drive to Chatsworth, get the car, and then if they close at 5 o'clock, I can't bring it back there to put it away. So I
Oh,
have
you
to,
got to
I
at
have
least
to-
get something with your own access or something.
Yeah. So for me to get a space in New York, I had literally a 2,000 square foot garage with all my stuff in it and my bicycles. I got
So you're
20
open to
bicycles.
storage options too.
Yeah, storage options were closer to where I'm working. I'm looking for a place to live as well. I'm actually just in an Airbnb.
Look at this.
Yeah.
This is going to be
It
amazing.
all falls out. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see.
So you need a
I
place
love
with a
it.
3-car or 4-car garage.
I did find a house close to where I work, but with a swimming pool.
Nice.
But just it's weird. No appliances, no fridge.
That's
which is
common.
very common.
Here,
I
out
found
here, it's common, yeah.
So but it
Kind
had
of
a
want your own
pool.
fridge anyway.
Yeah, I don't need a fridge. Little fridge is cheap.
I just mean put your own fridge.
It had a
I mean,
beautiful
Yes,
outdoor
I'm with
barbecue.
you.
It had an outdoor barbecue and it had a pool. And he'd paid for the pool maintenance, but not the running of it. So I don't know
So
what
the heat and all that?
Well, I guess the cleaning it up. But then he had landscaping, and you have to pay for the whatever. There's a whole bunch of stuff I had to pay for, which I was kind of, and it was a realtor company that was kind of just really weird. I walked in the place, and there was boxes up to the ceiling. I'm like, do I want to leave my $35 and get my credit checked on this? I'm like, I'm going to wait a little bit. So I see the place is still available. This is like a month ago. So I don't know what's going on, but it is perfect because I could fit a lot of stuff there. With the bikes, I have 3 motorcycles. I have 15
Holy
bicycles.
crow.
So they all have to fit somewhere in my life in the house.
Yeah, or maybe downsize a little bit. I don't know,
I
you're a
will
collector, huh?
Yeah, I will downsize a little bit. I like to use everything. In New York, I rode the bikes everywhere.
I bet.
Yeah. When I used to work in Manhattan, I'd ride every day to work, winter, rain, So now I still have them. I love them. I ride a lot here.
Oh, you do? Oh, well,
Yeah.
you're still using everything.
Yeah. So I meet my cousins up in Santa Clarita, and I get to go on the trails over
Nice.
there. So, yeah. But, yeah, so it's basically just coming together slowly. It's taking a little more time, but...
Let us know how we can help as
Yeah.
this whole process continues. You have our audience now as a resource as well.
Yes, please. No.
I mean, no, seriously, everyone loves Singer and everyone loves somebody who's cool in the community. So that's you now. So, I mean,
Thank you.
don't be so timid with reaching out.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that the response is probably going to be more ingratiating than you anticipate.
Yeah, it'd be great. No, definitely. It's been great. It's been a great 3 months, and I'm hoping for
3
more.
months. You've only been here 3 months.
Yeah.
Look how established you
So
are. It's
fast.
amazing.
May 21st, I came here. That was it. Drove the Penske truck with my stuff in it.
And we're at an hour. How did this feel? Was this?
Feels
Are you
good,
okay?
yeah.
Did you do okay?
I'm getting
No
a little
panic
hot now
attacks.
A little bit. It's okay. I'm a little, but I'm all good.
Do I have a button for that, Mrs. Ryan?
I think so. I'm so excited.
No, I'm so happy I met you guys. Your first group of people. That little fan, I love it. Nice.
Oh, it's not a fan.
There we go.
Oh, it's not a fan.
Oh,
There
no.
you
bubbles.
go.
Next time I'll talk about Woody Allen in New York. 'Cause I love it. So.
Oh, good.
I see
You have
the
a Woody Allen story?
I did work on one of his movies with the cars. I forgot which movie it was.
Oh, well, don't
Late
tell
night.
it. Come back and tell us
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That'll be
But
something
his
to tease.
movies, Bananas and all that stuff. Like, Annie Hall. Can't
Awesome.
be any more New York than that.
You
so.
have good stories going way back with the movie
yeah.
car stuff.
Yeah,
I'm excited to have you back to hear
Good.
them.
Do you have anything else for Steve before we wrap it up?
Just think it's nice to meet you too. So I'm really
Yes,
glad
very
you're out
happy.
here and that we've been able to hit it off so well for so soon.
Yeah,
Kudos.
thank you.
You're doing
Yes,
a great job.
Thank you.
And you're going to be okay.
Great, thank
This
you.
whole new thing, like, it
Good.
feels good.
It feels good. It feels good. I'm
Good.
glad I met you guys like the first week I was here. So it was
Thanks for
nice.
reaching out. That's how that happened.
And we'll
Yeah.
see it.
You, that's a lesson to everybody else. I mean, you reached out to us. There was
Yes.
a period of my life for a long time where I was afraid to make that jump.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go put myself out there. That's a mistake. You going
Yes.
up and talking to Bill Murray and you going up and talking to whoever else and us.
Yeah.
That's how you get things done. Don't be afraid of it,
Yeah, don't
folks.
be afraid. And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yep.
'cause I was always told, don't ask questions. I'm like,
Oh, don't
"What?"
bother so-and-so. You're going to bother
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
No, that's bullcrap.
Yeah,
Especially if someone is of a certain
I'm
age
still
or
asking
enlightenment.
questions at work. I mean, at work, I'm asking a lot of questions. Like, what's this guy asking me questions for? Because I want to know. I don't know everything.
How come this guy isn't pretending he knows like everything like everyone else?
I do everything. I'm not bringing that up, but I want to know about this.
Yeah.
So,
Everyone gets to learn that way. It's fun.
yes.
Thanks for being here, man. I hope it was painless. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope
was
you will be
definitely
back
excellent.
again soon.
Thank Thank you. Thank
Very
you for taking
ni-
me in short notice with my daughter being here from.
So glad to
Thanks
meet
to
you.
Jonathan Hirsch, who will be with us on Monday. Now it was our first official bump in order to get you
Oh,
in
that's
for
good.
this
I made a
because
bump.
it was late notice, but we've been wanting to get you in for a while. So
Yes. And I'm glad I'm in the either the Madonna chair or the Drew Barrymore chair. I don't know which one.
yeah, Don Rickles,
Don Rickles.
Dean Martin. I mean, it could be
Chris
anybody,
Farley.
right? Chris Farley.
Yeah, the one connection. What do they call that? The 1 degree, just from this chair, right?
Yeah, right. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, we love you, man.
Thank
We love everybody at home. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And we will. Oh gosh, no, this is the end of the week. Gosh, we only did 3 shows. So tomorrow is Breakfast Club at Newcomb's Ranch. Come on up if you want to see us there.
Yes, worth going to.
And you're going to come too,
I'm gonna
right?
come
You
up,
guys
yep.
are going to come.
I'll bring the daughter up there for the
Oh,
first
good.
time.
Bring the daughter.
Bring the daughter.
Like, don't call me daughter.
Her name is Juliet, like the Alfa Romeo.
Is it Julieta?
Julieta. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I
Pretty.
said that
You
before.
said
I'm sorry.
Julia, which is okay.
I'm sorry. That's terrible. It's not okay at all. Tomorrow, Breakfast Club up at Newcomb's Ranch. Come join the Mountain family. Next week, we've got Jonathan Hirsch, Ryan Casal, Alfred Hopton, and more Porsche stuff. Paul Kramer from Auto Kennel will be
Great,
here, so that'll
great.
be a lot of fun.
Cool.
Cool.
That's it. Have a great weekend, and we will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Love everybody.
Love you guys.
I'm so nervous.
I was getting more nervous towards the end, I think.